Welcome back. This is Wealth Principle 45. Invest in assets that increase over time, that increase your energy or income streams over time. I got to change that background there. So this is the 52 weeks to wealth. There are 52 wealth principles that will help you become a millionaire. These are the millionaire wealth principles. This is not for mediocrity. This is not for just getting by. These are wealth principles to become a millionaire and more. If you're looking to become a pentamillionaire, these principles still work. If you're looking to become a decamillionaire, these principles still work. And if you're looking to become a billionaire, well, then you got to change wealth principle number one, which is think a million. You got to change it to think a billion. Does that make sense? Hands to the camera if you know what I'm talking about. Awesome. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody you see on the screen is in the mentorship or has graduated the mentorship. These are people who have dedicated their success to helping 100 other people become millionaires. The mentorship is not just about becoming a millionaire yourself. It's about going forward and learning the process to become a millionaire so you can then teach the process. Now, obviously, you don't want to teach a process until you've done the process. I would not teach this class without being a multimillionaire. Does that make sense? Fair to say you've got to become a millionaire before you can teach millionaires. Yes, excellent. So everybody on the screen is a future millionaire, or they're the coaches, or they're the 100 millionaires who are already teaching. The website, waltermurillo.com, I've got a page that I'm updating that you can't see yet, but I will be posting it shortly. And on that page, it's the list of people who've committed to making other people millionaires, the list of people who've committed to, at least in their lifetime, building 100 millionaires. Who thinks that is a cool page to be on? Excellent. Excellent. I agree. There's no bigger purpose. Once you've made money, there's no bigger purpose than going back and teaching other people how to succeed, how to do well, paying it forward, giving back. In fact, if you want to get to the billion-dollar status, you've got to build 10,000 millionaires. You've got to get 10,000 people with $1 million invested in you or your company if you want to have a billion-dollar company. And the only way to do that is to help them out, help them get richer. At a certain point, millionaires only invest in things that make them wealthier. Does that make sense? That's why they're millionaires. We grasp that's a wealth principle. Excellent. So the 52 weeks to wealth is designed to help you become wealthier. It's designed to help you become richer. It is not designed to buy you a Ferrari next year. See, wealth buys assets. That's what this lesson is all about. That's why wealth principle 45 is one, and I know I say this every week, one of my favorites, because I spend all of my time building assets, buying assets, investing in assets, seeking out assets. Today, I'm going to teach you what the most powerful asset is. I'm going to save that towards the end. I'm going to teach you some of the assets you already know about. I'm going to teach you assets that are not assets. They're prospects that are actually suspects. They're things that look like an asset, sound like an asset, but do not perform like an asset. This sounds like a lesson that's important for everybody to have. Yes, I agree. They should teach this in school, but they do not. And so that's why we show up every week to learn the principles. If you look at the wealth principles, you go to waltermurillo.com, go over to resources and hit 52 weeks to wealth, the wealth principles. You will not find a single one of those things taught in school. They're not 52. The principles to become successful, rich and successful, are not taught in school. Something's wrong. Something's wrong if we're in a nation where you go every day and you think that that coffee you're buying is an asset because it makes you happy. You think that your Netflix profile that you bought is an asset because it makes you happy. You think that the cable bill that you're paying, the $180 cable bill you're paying, is an asset because it, babysits your kids. Whatever it is that you justify as an asset, the Pandora description that you have that is $10 a month is an asset. Of those digital assets you can have on your phone, there's one that's Audible. If you can get Audible on your phone or the Kindle app, those are digital assets that really, really go a long way to build your biggest asset, which is right up here. Now, that isn't, okay, technically it's your biggest asset, but the biggest external asset that this can bring you, I'm going to talk about at the end. Who wants to know what the biggest asset is? The absolute most powerful leverage you can possibly have on this planet. The most powerful tool that you can have in the world to become wealthy. I'm going to save that for the end. Excellent. Wealth principles. 45, invest in assets that increase over time your energy or income streams. Energy and income streams. One, we got to define an asset. An asset is something that builds and adds value. An asset is something that stores and holds wealth. A liability, so the opposite of an asset is a liability. This is something that drains wealth or drains energy. It is something that does not gain over time. In fact, it loses. So something where they call it a depreciating asset, like a car, right? These are things that you could use for a business, but they depreciate over time. They're not a true asset, but they can be perceived as an asset at some points. Does that make sense? How a car could be perceived as an asset because it's a business expense and it gets you from point A to point B. It helps you collect money. But in reality, it is a depreciating asset. So it's not where you put all your money. It's where you put the absolute minimum that you can afford to serve the need of point A to point B. Now, if you're in network marketing, maybe having a really fancy car is going to help you convert. You know, that taking that picture in front of the Lamborghini may help you get more young 20-year-olds behind your message. But for the most part, your business does not require a fancy car. We agree? Excellent. Excellent. Now, an asset that does make money, that does pay dividends, is the most valuable asset. One of the most valuable assets would be real estate. Don't wait to buy real estate and wait. Write it down. I know everybody in here is a real estate investor. Hands to the camera if you're a real estate investor. Awesome. Hands to the camera if you know you got to buy real estate at some point in your life. Hands to the camera if you know there are more people who own more real estate than you out there. Excellent. So you'll never catch up. There's always going to be somebody ahead of you. There's always going to be a bigger fish. Real estate investing is the greatest asset. Well, one of the great, there's a greater asset I'll talk about in a little bit. It is one of the best returning assets because you get appreciation, you get depreciation. You actually get to take that off your taxes, even though the asset stays the same value. And then you get appreciation and amortization of the building, as well as cash flow. So you've got a bunch of different ways to make money on real estate. But there's a secret asset to real estate that I'm going to tell you later on that most people don't know about. But if you're in sales, it's very important. So if you're in sales, hands to the camera if you're a real estate agent in sales, excellent, insurance agent or mortgage broker or attorney or coach, if you're a coach teaching wealth building, you should own real estate because it's going to help you build your business. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later at the end. Gold, silver, these assets. By the way, here's the biggest joke with gold and silver right now. Silver is like 25 times cheaper than gold. $2,000 worth of silver is like 6 or 7 pounds, whereas 1 ounce is gold, right? 1 ounce of gold is about $2,000 right now, $1,900. Gold and silver are also, I'd say they're the bottom of assets, bottom of asset classes. They're the most mediocre of asset classes because all they do is stay the same. They don't lose, right? That's their gift is gold and silver don't lose, right? They beat inflation. They basically stay on par with inflation. So they're a little better than the dollar, right? Like in sense of dollars that you would have to apply to something. If you have an asset that you could buy, then getting dollars is a good idea. And then you convert that over to the asset that you're looking for. So nothing wrong with collecting dollars and storing for a short period of time, but they're kind of like milk. You got to keep them in the fridge and they don't hold for very long. Does that make sense? You can grasp why dollars are almost like milk. Yes. So you want them, they're great to convert for something else. If you do it right, milk becomes cheese. And if you're vegan, neither one is acceptable. Let's give our vegans a round of applause for staying healthier than the rest of us. It's a work in progress. Tony Robbins apparently is somewhat vegan and something to aspire to. And so moving in that direction with our health. Your body is an asset. Your body is an asset that is not thought about often enough. The energy in your body is an asset. If you can motivate yourself, who knows that motivation Motivation is tangible. It is an asset. Excellent. If you didn't know that, one of the most powerful assets is your energy. Being able to convert your energy instantly at any moment to something more powerful to get you more deals. When you're in, write this down if you're in sales or if you're a real estate investor. When you're in a home with somebody else and you're negotiating a deal, the person with the highest energy wins. Now, I'm not talking about frantic energy. I'm talking about internal energy, this in here. So I have a high, intense state of energy right now, but I'm calm. My voice is calm. I'm giving you a solid conversation, but my energy level is high. Does that make sense? I'm unstoppable. I'll go 3, 4, 6 hours of this unstoppably. So when you get into a house with a seller, your energy must be that level, this level of commitment, this level of excitement, this level of high, intense energy that you're going to win this sale. People in sales say you go in knowing you've won the sale already. Who's heard that said before in sales, that you go into it knowing you've got the close, you got the listing, you got the purchase and sale signed already. That's the sort of high energy I'm talking about. That's an asset. That's something you can build and experience over time. You can practice building that. Some of the ways you can practice building that are listening to great music and then hitting it with an anchor. So I listen to music that really pumps me up. This is an example. Write this down. This is something you can actually do tangibly later today after this call. You go and you listen to music that really pumps you up, amps you up, gets you excited. You listen to that music, right? The beat's going. Right at that point where the beat has you at the highest, snap your fingers. Just give yourself a little snap, 2 or 3 snaps, snap your fingers, get yourself excited. And then you can end it. Go to a different song. Shift over. Get the energy high, get the energy high. Once it gets to that point where you're like, man, this is the best part of the song. I love it. You snap your fingers, get excited. And that pump gets triggered to the finger snap. And so whenever you're anywhere else, right before I get on stage, if you're paying attention, if you pay close attention, before I jump on stage, you'll see me just snap my fingers. I'm firing off on all cylinders. I'm getting pumped. I'm getting ready to go. Does that make sense? Before you walk into a listing appointment, before you walk in face to face in the lion's den, before you get into a seller appointment with a motivated seller, you've got to get your energy up. Now, I'm not saying you go in there to attack them. What I'm suggesting is you go in there with high energy to be caring, high energy to be emotional, high energy to be supportive, high energy to be understanding of their situation, high energy to negotiate quickly. It's an asset. Energy is an asset. Your mindset is an asset. Get it right. Learn these tricks. What I just taught you, anchoring and firing off that trigger, that's an asset. Does that make sense? Excellent. Excellent. There are assets you can purchase that are paper assets like stocks. I will not discuss any particular stock in this call, but there are stocks that if you go and watch the 100 Millionaires podcast, me and Mike, we have our particular stocks that we enjoy. And we discuss new stocks every week. And the reason we do that is because we're looking for the stock that we know is going to appreciate the most. We're looking for stocks, and Mike and I are very clear. We don't look for cash flowing stocks. We have cash flowing real estate. We have cash flowing businesses. And by the way, a business is another asset. And I hope you're writing this list of assets down. I don't see too many hands running across the paper. But this list of assets, you won't hear from too many people because they're unique. You'll hear business, stocks, real estate. You'll hear those 3. But the energy, the big one at the end that I'll talk about, the way you invest, the mindset of investment, investing in yourself, you'll hear that out there as well. The best investment is one in yourself. But these assets are not talked about often enough. And I just keep wanting to go back to the big one. But I'll stay on track. So assets like buying real estate, you buy them, they cash flow. Assets like gold, you buy them, they stay. Assets like stocks, you have 2 types of assets. One that holds its value, and cash flows well, or maybe it's mediocre appreciation. And then the ones that appreciate very quickly. In real estate, we have them. In stocks, we have them. In cryptocurrency, we have them. Even between gold and silver. Silver tends to be more volatile, go up and down faster. Gold has appreciated far better than silver has. And when you look at digital assets, your website can appreciate in value or it can cash flow. When you look at your business, it can go up in value or it can cash flow. And I'll use Amazon as an example. Amazon or Tesla, these are businesses that do not cash flow. do not pay off a dividend. They do. And Berkshire Hathaway, the biggest, the baddest, right? This is the best investor in the world, runs Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. And he does not pay a dividend, has never paid a dividend because he's an appreciating asset. Does that make sense? So some assets go up in value, some assets cash flow. So they pay you a return. If you want to become a millionaire, you don't start with things that pay a return. This is why Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about you get paid later. You work for free for the long-term gain. So sometimes you work for free to get paid the big payoff in the end. My website, my brand, this training course, this whole process is a digital asset. This is something that we built before you saw it. In fact, we even had to sell it before you saw what it was. And even now, last night, I was up till 6 o'clock in the morning building a section of the website that's going to be probably one of the coolest features that we have. And it's the forum. So we're building the forums out where you actually get to create your own personality. You can message members, which, man, I'm not a tech guy, or previously was not a tech guy, but I'll become whatever I have to be to become a little bit richer and help you guys out. Does that make sense? It's a commitment to self-growth and your growth. And I was on a conversation with Ron yesterday, who is, by the way, one of my greatest assets, my business partner. I was on a conversation with him. We meet every single week, even though I'm in Tampa now and he's in Massachusetts. We meet every single week and we say, here's the company where we stand. This is where we're going. This is what we're looking to create. And I told him, this website is by far going to be our most powerful tool, because I want to build in this website everything you and I use off website. Everything you and I use offline, our project tracker, our net worth tracker, our rent calculators, everything that you and I use on the daily, our compound interest calculators, our property evaluation calculators, the mortgage calculators, everything we use offline, we're going to put right on the website. And I told him so that you and I can use it at any point, but we're going to make it open source so everybody else has access. Does that sound like it'd be valuable to you? Yeah. If we make a hub for everybody, it's what we wish existed for us. And so he and I had the conversation a long time ago. We're a tech company. We knew it, we know it, and COVID allowed us to become it. So we had a hard time shaking into it because we're like, man, there's no way investors are going to just want to do everything online. There's no way investors are going to want to meet virtually and do Zoom rooms, and instead of meeting live. And don't get me wrong, I'm still doing live as soon as it's feasible and available. But now we're able to reach out to the nation, because I couldn't stand just being in Massachusetts. I can't stand being too small. Does that make sense? You've got to get bigger. If you want more money, get out of your city. If you want more money, get out of your state. If you want more money, get out of your country. Go nationwide, go worldwide, go global. Build assets that can scale. Write this down, assets that can scale. So not all assets are scalable. I think gold and silver are a pain in the ass to scale. The more you get, the harder it is to move. Whereas crypto, Bitcoin, those assets are more scalable, of course, more volatile. Real estate, more scalable. You can basically own real estate anywhere once you build that muscle, once you've learned the lesson of how to build anywhere. Stocks, you can trade them from your phone anywhere in the country. They don't care if you're trading $10 or $1 million. Stocks run the same. These are assets. So Ron and I, in our conversation yesterday, we've been asked a lot to see if we would offer the opportunity for people to come into deals with us. And so, because I'm not 100% certain on the rules of the SEC, if you're looking to invest with us, schedule an appointment with Darina. We're going to do a call on Thursday at 6 p.m. to introduce a deal that we're doing that is actually allowing people to buy into our company. So our company is worth $5 million right now, just the physical hard assets, and the digital assets we haven't evaluated yet, but we're probably going to evaluate those around 5 mil themselves. Much like Tesla, it's a company that you have to believe in. Now, here's the deal. We're going to $1 billion. So whether you're on board now or later, it makes no difference to me, although I know my people are already there. I know there's certain people smiling already, like, yeah, I've been waiting for this. So cool. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's an awesome group. And I finally sat down with a syndication attorney. Who knows that my podcast is an asset? Who knows that the reason I'm on that podcast every single week is because I can't afford the coaches that I want. And I want to be very careful with that, because I do hear other people say, I can't afford that coaching. I can't afford that coaching. We're not talking about coaching that can be bought. We're talking about people who do not offer coaching. Does that make sense? We're talking about people who do not offer it. I'm in that level where they don't even give you a price anymore. It's, oh no, not available. Like I don't do that. Does that make sense? Hands to the camera if you know what I'm talking about. Because I would have bought these. I would have gone into debt for some of these guys. I would have definitely paid the money. And I told Dorina the other day, I was like, man, like get me Rod Cleef, right? I'm willing to pay the 25,000 to be part of that mastermind. Let's run it. Like I've paid more to be in masterminds that I don't think moved me as much as this mastermind will, because it's all millionaires, all real estate specific millionaires in his mastermind, buying big buildings, 100-unit buildings, 400 unit buildings as like consistent stuff. That's an asset. That network's an asset. My podcast is an asset, because when I say, hey, I want to bring you onto my podcast, introduce you to my audience, do you know what somebody who's making a lot of money, who's running big investment deals, who wants more people to invest with them says? They say, hell yeah, bring me on. When is your time? When is available for you? They don't say, hey, I'm available on this day. They're like, well, I'll jump on for you. Does that make sense? Build assets that get you what you're looking for. Now, I did mention the best asset, the biggest asset is not necessarily just in you, although you have to have this. So I guess this is always the most leverageable asset. You got to fix this first. But it's the people that you surround yourself with, what this allows you to attract, the people this allows you to communicate with, the people this allows you to build rapport with. Your people, human capital, is the biggest, most important asset. It's what helped me when I was broke. It's what stopped me from taking my own life when I was suicidal. It's what moved me forward into a purpose, a mission that is bigger than me, that makes everything else worth it. It's what brings in all the money. It's what raises all the capital, brings in all the deals. It's human capital. Human capital, the people that you surround yourself with. Anybody who says, I don't need partners, is broke. And they may have $1 million, but they could have 10 million. They could have 100 million. Anybody who says they don't want to partner with somebody is broke, because that doesn't work. You look at the richest people on the planet. They sold their companies for the most part to other people, brought other people in. They're some of the biggest employers in the world, the most wealthy people on the planet. Fair to say they got a lot of partners. When I worked for Walmart, which if Walmart was not divided to 4 major heirs, Walmart's empire would be the richest. It is the richest on the planet, worth over $200 billion. If Walmart, Sam Walton, his philosophy was respect for the individual, and everybody is called an associate. An associate. The employees are partners. Does that make sense? Because the employees are automatically enrolled into the company's shareholder program, stocks. They're automatically enrolled. They're automatically shareholders. They're associates. That mindset is what got Walmart to be one of the biggest employers in the world. Does that make sense? Look, the world does not need more people saying, I'm in it for myself, working a 9 to 5, saying, I just got to get mine. I just got to get mine. Pretending that money isn't important to them, even though they spend 40 hours a week and I spend 4. The work that I put into this company is a call with Ron. I like that call with Ron. That's actually fun for me. This call here, the calls I do throughout the rest of the week, adds up to about 4 to 5 hours. But we also pull in $1 million a year, and our net worth continues to grow. And so it's okay that I'm putting in some effort. We agree? Okay that I put in some effort? Yeah. Whereas when you look at the person who's working 9 to 5, some people work more than that. And some days I do too. But I love what I'm doing. I'm building $1 billion company. It's okay. Is it okay if I decide I want to work 120 hours a week? If 10 years from now I own $1 billion company, I'm still not working for minimum wage. I assure you. But I'm doing something important that the world needs. Building an asset bigger than myself, focusing on other people. When you focus on other people, you're going to find you become much, much more wealthy, focusing on what they want. Everything on this website is designed for you. Everything in the training programs is designed for you to build wealth to get to the next level so that you can eventually, maybe you're not at the point where you can invest in one of my companies. Maybe you're not at the point where you can invest in one of our future millionaires deals. Hands to the camera if you know you're going to be a millionaire. Hands to the camera if you know for sure, without a doubt, you will be a millionaire in the next 3 to 5 years. Let's give our future millionaires a round of applause. Hell yeah. And I know for some of you, pentamillion is on the to-do list. I know my pentamillionaires out there. I know my decamillionaires out there. I see my hectamillionaires. Here's what I'll tell you about the investments that me and Mike look for. We look for investments that do 100% return on investment with a year, 400% return on investment a year, 8,000% return on investment over a decade. Mike, you know what I'm talking about? That's what we look for because we got time. Because finding those assets is our job. Finding those wealth producing assets is what we do. We look for the 1% of assets that make it to that next level, that make it to maximum return on investment. Not just the 1%, but the 1% of the 1%. That's what we focus on. Building and buying those assets. Do you think if you built and bought an asset that goes up 100% every year, you'd be wealthy? I got a smart room right here. What if I told you this is the asset that doubles in value every year? This is the asset. You train this, you can make double the money every single year. And if you train this on hiring and surrounding yourself with the right people, you can do far more than double your own net worth and your own income every single year. You can do it without putting any extra effort in. Does that make sense? You know, why do I spend all the time on the website? Because I'm a control freak. Whatever. It's my fault. Like, I can't help it. You know, this is just who I am. I love learning new things. It just gets me excited. You know, it reminds me of Elon Musk, the way he falls asleep on the workshop floor, right? The engineering floor. Like, sometimes I love what I do, you know, and if it's new and it's exciting, I'll do it. You don't have to find that passion. You just have to find a money machine. Does that make sense? 4-hour work week. Tim Ferriss, he says it like, you don't gotta love what you do. You don't have to love it, but it does have to pay you, right? It does have to pay you and you not be involved. You have to build these assets over time so that over time you gain value. Buy into things that appreciate and cash flow. If you can get an asset that does both, you're winning. That is the ultimate. That's why we buy real estate. Real estate cash flows and it appreciates. That's why Mike and I, we focus on stocks that appreciate. We already got our cash flow. We got our business and we've got our real estate. So we focus on stocks that cash flow. He has convinced me against my previous old judgment to get away from my REITs. I was previously heavy in the real estate investment trust, but they don't go up in value. They just pay a dividend. And my stock portfolio was around $100,000. And I was looking at it saying, I want it to be more before I'm getting paid a dividend. Does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about? And financial advisors on the call, I know, I get it, right? Like it's about getting paid. It's about long-term, 12% returns. This is not a training program. Do I have permission to teach something that's 100% return on investment instead of 12% every year? Excellent. I got the right room here. Thank God. This is not to teach you how to make 12%. Look, a fool can make 12% in the stock market. Anybody can go and make 6% in just about anything. I think if you put it in the stock market, the S&P 500 will get you 6%. Go and SPY, SPY, invest in the index funds, and you'll get your 6%. You'll be okay. But if you want to beat the S&P, if you want to beat everybody else, you've got to at least get 100% return on investment. You've got to at least double every single year. And if you're not doubling, you're falling behind. Write it down. If I'm not doubling, I am falling behind. Rich people talk about doubling their net worth. Poor people talk about spending their net worth. Write it down. Rich people look for and build networks. Poor people look for a job. Write it down. There's no substitute for this skill set. There's no getting around it. Rich people build assets. They buy assets that double in their net worth. Double. They're looking for double returns. That's why they are the richest people on the planet. We don't look at Warren Buffett and say, why did Warren Buffett pick that? Because we think he's getting 12%. Answer the camera if you agree. We follow the Oracle of Omaha because he's consistently doubled his value. Consistently. That's what separates him from the best. Now, I'm not telling you, I have not given you a specific stock that's going to do that. We agree? I'm not giving financial advice in the realm of, Ryan, I haven't done anything illegal yet. Give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. He's one of our coaches. He's also a certified financial advisor, Section 7, Series 7. So he is qualified to tell me if I am in the right or in the wrong. And I trust and appreciate your opinion, Ryan. Thank you very much, my friend. So when it comes to buying assets, buy the ones that will double your net worth. When it comes to coaching programs, everybody asks me, should I jump into this coaching program? It's $25,000, it's $35,000, it's $5,000, it's $2,000, it's $100. Should I invest in this coaching program? I have two questions. I want you to write these down. Write these questions down because this will decide it for you. Does this coaching program, does this coaching program have the ability for me to double my net worth this year? Will this coaching program be the single hitter or a part of what doubles my net worth this year? And if so, am I willing to commit to doubling my net worth this year? And that's it. If you know that the training program is the one to double it, take it. If you look at it and you say, man, nah, this one's just for fun, or this is the one I might need a few years from now, or I might need this 6 months from now, but really the other one's the one I need right now, take the one for today, pay today, capitalize, double your income. And then in the future, take the other one. There's a reason I didn't take Train the Trainer early on. To learn speaking, I took other trainings that I thought were more important that were going to get me more closings, more deals. Does that make sense? I took a lot of sales training when I started. I took a lot of one-on-one, mano-a-mano sales training because I was a real estate agent and I need to increase my income. So 3 years ago, the stuff I trained on is different from the stuff I train on now. Now I train on syndications, but if I took syndication training 3 years ago, I wouldn't have used it. I wasn't ready. My confidence wasn't there. I knew that. I wasn't motivated, dedicated enough to go and do it. I didn't need it to get to the next level. Does that make sense? So there is a coach for you right now that will help you get to the next level. Only you, only you will know which one is right because you know where you're looking to go. You know, I can give you suggestions. I can give you hints. I can tell you, hey, go work with this person or go find a mentor like this or go read this book. And man, if you can't make the investment in books, you will never be a millionaire. I've never met a millionaire who hasn't read books, at least Think and Grow Rich. Does that make sense? Now, that's okay, right? That's okay. If you can't read books and you're not a millionaire, you don't want to be a millionaire, you're not in this room. Answer the camera if you know you're here to be a millionaire. Yes, you're here to get to that net worth that makes your life better, allows you to be impactful, allows you to have more, give more, provide more to your family, provide more to your friends. Some of you have family that is aging. Some of you have family that is getting older. It's your moral, ethical duty to learn these principles, to invest, to buy assets that increase your energy and your income. There are things I do. Honestly, I think that this asset right here that I buy increases my energy. There's a reason I leave them on my desk, right? Like having all this silver around gets me excited about going and selling more mentorships, gets me excited about training people. This is an asset for happiness, not an asset for value, right? And I mean like the physical coin, because look at Mitch Jorsky's face whenever I hold up this Bitcoin. So Mitch Jorsky knows this is not a real Bitcoin, but I do own Bitcoin. And this makes me smile. This is an affirmation. This is a positive, it's feng shui in my office. Does that, like Mike Shine's got right there. We have some of our prop money, right? On my desk, I keep prop money around so I can just pull it out and play with it, right? It gets me excited to say, I'm making more of this. There's more of this coming in. Just, these are for fun. Right, Mitch? Did you finally get some prop money and make an investment in yourself, brother? There you go, Chris Hayward.
Your book is my prop money.
There it is, brother. Hell yeah. So I wrote the book book broke to $250,000 when I was a millionaire already, not when I was broke. You teach after you have the knowledge. Teach once you've got it. There it is. Mitch Dorsey's holding the book up, and we got the Scaredy Cat Guide. Mike Shine's got the book up, broke to $250,000. You can go to Amazon, pick that book up, and Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing on Amazon. Is it cool that my coaches are celebrities? My coaches are published authors, masters in what they talk about. Absolutely. I love it. So what we've built together here in Alchemy is a powerful network. Alchemist Nation is about connecting with people who are ahead of us, learning from them, and then paying it forward and connecting with people who are just a little behind us. Now, if you've bought one house, you can teach people how to buy one house. You are more knowledgeable than somebody who doesn't own a house. Does that make sense? Investors who already own property, hands to the camera. Yes. You are qualified to teach somebody reasonably how to buy a house because you've already done that. Now, to teach them how to buy 10, send it to me, right? To teach them how to buy 20, send it to me. Teach them how to buy 30, send it to me. But one, it's your ethical duty to teach people to go forward and say, hey, by the way, this is how you buy real estate, because it's what's making you rich right now. Does that make sense? It's not fair to keep that to yourself. Like, look, we're not going to run out of houses by you teaching people how to invest. I thought that early on in my business. I did. I don't raise your hand if you've ever experienced this, but I thought early on, man, if I teach everybody how to invest in my city, I'm gonna lose all the good deals. That's not true. I've still only bought in my city, and I've been teaching how to buy in Fall River for 3, 4, 5 years now. And I've still continued to grow my portfolio. I'm still buying houses cheaper than my competition, the people I learn from, the people I teach, they're my replacements at best. Does that make sense? They're the investors who will invest in my company in the future. There is no competition. There's only people who you could partner with one day or people that don't exist. Does that make sense? 1%, and I'm telling, and I preluded to the biggest asset. The biggest asset is your network. The biggest asset is the people you can connect with, the people you can build relationships with, the people you can learn from, the people. And sometimes you pay for those people. Sometimes you work for those people. Sometimes you just have to be there for those people. Does that make sense? Sometimes emotional support is all those people want. Sometimes financial support is all they want. Sometimes physical help is something you got to pay it forward with. That's okay. They're worth it because they're what moves you forward in your mission. You are what moved me forward in my mission to build 100 millionaires. Without you, this doesn't mean anything, right? But with you, this means everything. 100 millionaires, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's going to build your wealth on a level that you could never imagine. I built my career working with investors to make them wealthier. Built my career making people rich. That's how I started as a real estate agent. I said it day one. I was asked USP. Who knows what a USP is? Hands to the camera if you've heard it before. Unique selling proposition is what it stands for. So in sales training 101 back at Remax, my first office in Fall River, my broker at the time, he says, what's your USP? And he goes through the process, explains how to do it, has us write it down. And it says you serve, and this is what you do, and this is what the result is. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I help good people get rich. I help good people make good money was the phrase I said at the time because I wanted it to rhyme. I help good people make good money. And he looked at me and he's like, what does that mean? And I was like, dude, I help investors. I help people buy real estate. I help people like me buy investment property like me. The things that I want to buy, I'm helping other people do. And I help good people make good money. And he told me that's a terrible USP. But I wouldn't be here if that wasn't my mission. Does that make sense? I wouldn't be a millionaire if that wasn't my mission, because all the other guys in the class, they were like, I like to help people buy real estate so they can have the American dream. The American dream. Live to be 70, retire at 70, own a liability that you're paying for, your house poor the entire time, that you can't get cash out of unless you go and refinance it, and now you owe more debt, and die with a net worth of $300,000 and never being able to really access it unless you do a reverse mortgage, which is risky, and hope and scrape by the last 20 years of your life and hope you're not a burden on your kids. That's the American dream. Did I paint it properly? Did I miss the white picket fence or something? Like, yeah, that's the American dream. That's what they're selling. They're selling debt. They're selling poverty. They're selling a future that's bleak. I couldn't buy it. I couldn't buy into that. And so instead, I said, I help good people make good money, because my qualifier was it had to be good people that I liked. I don't work with people I don't like. Same with this mentorship program. Hands to the camera if you're in the mentorship program or a graduate. I've gone through it. Yeah, I like you. It's very easy for me to do the mentorship. I just tell people no if I don't like their personality in coaching call number one. It's not going to work out, right? I also have a gift to find the good in everybody. So I also have a tendency to be extremely polarizing. I talk about money a lot. I talk about positivity a lot. I talk about being ethical, moral, and legal. Everybody knows in the mentorship program, in order to do a deal with me, you have to be ethical, moral, legal. Yes, we agree. Excellent. In order to do a deal with anybody in the community, ethical, moral, legal, it's a requirement. Yes. That's why we get rich, because we're scalable, because ethics, morals, and doing things right the legal way never goes bad. It's like almond milk instead of normal milk. You just leave it in the fridge forever and it just stays good. It's a good investment. This is making sense. These are assets all across the board. These are assets. The people on this call right now, you in this room, you are an asset to the people in here who are looking to become millionaires. You want friends who want to talk about money? Right here. You know the secret to making more money is surround yourself with other people who want to make more money. The secret to becoming a millionaire, surround yourself with other millionaires. Right? You want to fast track retirement? Surround yourself with millionaires. Secret 101. You want to become a multimillionaire? Help 100 people become millionaires. Find a way. Find a way that you can help people build wealth. And even those people who can't afford you in the beginning, one day they can. Does that make sense? I have a coaching product I never sell. I have a coaching product that's $25,000. It's me for a year, me specifically one-on-one for a year, 30-minute call every single week. Text me anytime you want. I will do the deal with you without taking a commission on the deal. I'll literally do the deal with you for $100,000. There's a $100,000 coaching program that I'll do the deal and I won't take anything out of it because I'm getting paid for it. I don't sell that because I don't think my community is there yet. Does that make sense? But who knows, if you want to take down a 100 unit project and all you paid me was $100,000 to bring that deal, finance that deal, make sure it all works, that'd be worth it. The ROI is more than there. Shit, acquisition cost on a big syndication is $300,000 to $400,000. So imagine you got a coach who just does it all for you and wants to invest in the deal with you. Is that a value add? Yeah. But the community understands they're not there yet, right? I don't even mention this one, right? I got to build you first. I got to get you to that point where $100,000 is like no brainer, no big deal. It's a long-term play building millionaires. It's a long-term play building deca millionaires, pentamillionaires. Can you commit to it? Hands to the camera if you know you can commit to this. Excellent. Excellent. I'll tell you something that my coach, Paul Fink, says to me every time he puts a big challenge out there. He says, we'll see. Man, that gets me. Where are my D's at? You're taking the disc profile. You already know you're a very D personality. Yeah, that challenge, man. There's something about it. Mike Shine, there is a book of the week every week. And this book of the week is a very special one to us. And even though it's part of our foundational 5 and everybody in the mentorship has read this book, or will read this book if you're still starting in the mentorship, the foundational 5 include the 5 most powerful books that we have found for anybody who wants to build wealth, not just real estate investors, entrepreneurs, people who work 9 to 5 their entire lives. If you invest in these 5 books, spend the $40 to invest in these 5 books, you will at least have the tools to build whatever you want in life. And that's why they're called the foundational 5. Hands to the camera if you've read the foundational 5, know what I'm talking about. Awesome. Hands to the camera if you've committed to reading the foundational 5, know what I'm talking about. Awesome. Excellent. And you can go to waltermerlo.com, go to resources, and just right underneath 52 Weeks of Wealth, there is the list of the foundational 5. Mike Shine, without further ado, what is the book of the week?
All right. So the book of the week is one of my absolute favorites. It is The Richest Man in Babylon. And there's a little debate in the community about, because I listened to it on Audible, and I absolutely love the old-timey voice of the guy that does it. But when I've said that to people, they're like, oh my God, I hate his voice. I hate his old English. I can't take it. So if you get it on Audible, there is a way to sample different narrators. So, feel free to find the one that works for you. But it's an amazing book because it teaches you using stories from Babylon thousands of years ago to teach you lessons that apply today. And let me see if I can find. There's the what do they call them? Hang on, 7 cures for a lean purse. And so even that, when he says a lean purse, obviously not most of us aren't walking around with purses, but it's amazing. And so I'll just read the purses, but you can do more research. But start thy purse to fattening, control thy expenditures, make thy gold multiply, guard thy treasures from loss, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Who knew that 3,000 years ago there was house hacking? Ensure a future income and increase thy ability to earn. So yeah, it's an amazing book, and it's just fun to listen to. I go back to it all the time because he just tells these old time stories. I always like to do the quote about the Phoenicians were scoundrels and they sold us glass instead of jewels, which is a lesson in you don't go to a sword maker to ask about jewelry, which applies today. You don't talk to your broke friends about making money, talk to your broke friends about, I don't know, who's playing football on Sunday. But anyways, so that is The Richest Man in Babylon. I highly recommend it. In fact, I listen to it at least once a year. It's so good. So get it? Sweet.
Big thanks to Mike Shine. Every week, Mike Shine delivers the book of the week and adds value to this entire community, walking us through the 52 books of the year that are a good start for beginners, for anybody just starting out. Now, yes, we are getting to book 45. The year is starting to turn around to the next stage of books. We are going to continue with the 52 books again at the beginning of the year. But Mike and I are already talking about building a secondary list. This is another list that's next level. If you've gotten through the 52 and you're looking to get to the next level and you really want to know what those are, between Mike, well, I've read over 300 books, and I know Mike has read dozens himself. And we've got some of my other friends on here, Patrick Sullivan, who's, what is it, Mike?
Hundreds
himself.
And it's because of you and also Brenda. So yeah, it's awesome.
So also Patrick Sullivan, I know he's got over 100 or nearly 100 in his digital database. Mike's over 100. Terry's read hundreds of books. So Mitch has read hundreds of books. Ryan McDermott, you look at Ryan McDermott's screen behind him. Those are all all business books, marketing books, sales books.
And
so we've
Walter,
go ahead,
did you say that the average American or maybe person reads 1 book a year? Is that the stat?
The average American reads 1 book a year. And here's the sad part about the stat. They don't even finish that book most of the time. Whereas the CEOs of the world, the highest earning CEOs, not just CEOs, highest earning CEOs.
And it's fiction.
50. What is it? What is
and
it,
they read fiction.
Right.
Yes.
Fiction. Great point, Glenn.
100%. And the 1 book they read is a fiction book.
I just was reading Tony Robbins' book. This is my book of the week, Awaken the Giant Within.
Excellent.
He said
Give Mike Shine a round of applause. Great book.
Yeah, he said he read 700 books to get to where he wanted to be. So
we are on track. In fact, one of my coaches says he's over 1,000 books. Paul Fink, he said it live, over 1,000 books, and I aspire to hit it. That's why we do the 52 books a year, and I just keep pushing, keep plugging away. Now, was this a valuable lesson so far? Excellent. Who here has done their net worth tracker this week? Done the net worth tracker, looked at the net worth, evaluated it? Excellent. For anybody who has not, go and evaluate your net worth. But on the side of it, and this is a new exercise for everybody who has done their net worth tracker, on the side of it, write down the asset column energy. Write down the asset column for energy and identify your assets that give you energy. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's these calls, maybe it's your coach, your mentor, maybe it's a YouTube channel, maybe it's a book, an audio, a podcast, things that give you energy. Maybe it's an exercise, maybe it's a experience or meditation. Write down your asset column of things that give you energy, how much time you're spending there, how you can rate how much energy they give you. And then on the other side, write your liabilities, things that drain your energy, things that take it away, things that bring your energy down, things that take away your focus. You know, maybe it's the job. Maybe it's a bad boss. Maybe it's a person in your life that just needs to be removed. Maybe it's a commitment that you've made that just needs to be removed. I remember Dorina had a commitment when she started dating me. She had this belief system that she had to go to I don't even remember what they're called. I know Mike loves them. She hates them. I can't stand them. Dorina, what was that group you were a part of?
Oh.
BNI.
BNI.
So Dorina, what was the BNI for you?
Well, BNI is a wonderful organization, and you can build business through referrals. However, I didn't see people wanted to be rich and become millionaires in that organization. So when I started dating you, it became clear that, it drains me. From a good asset for me became mostly like, okay, what am I doing here? At the beginning, yes, a wonderful group, good people, but go in different direction.
And then what was the asset you replaced it with? The wholesale mastermind. What does that do for you?
Oh yes, that was a big shift. Everything has changed. I met a lot of motivated hustlers looking to get their business going, helping each other, and it changed also the perspective. The wholesaler mastermind is an abundant group versus, oh, have you tracked my referral to you? And it's my referral, not your referral. It's just a whole different story. There's a lot of investors, a lot of buyers, and everybody is just there to share, to learn, to grow, very loyal, very committed. And I would rather spend my time there. It's an investment, it's an asset. It became a really huge asset.
Let's give Dorina a round of applause. She does an amazing job running our wholesale mastermind. We have amazing volunteers who are running it with us. Thank you for everybody who's called on it, spoken, everybody who's looking for deals. Hands to the camera if you're looking to buy more deals, buy more real estate this year. Yes. The Wholesale Mastermind is a network of wholesalers who are looking to learn how to get more deals. So we teach them. You are available to access them. We want you to buy their deals. We want you to teach them and train them, take them under your wing. We've collected them, but we can't buy every piece of real estate that they bring to the table. Does that make sense? Not every piece of real estate they bring to the table is an asset that I can take or move on, or that I even desire to. And so we want to share the wealth. We want you to build and inspire and build great businesses and partnerships with these wholesalers so that you can expand your mission, so that you can have more money, so that you can invest in bigger deals with us. Does that make sense? Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. Phenomenal wealth principles. I do have some announcements, some really interesting stuff. Who here would like to learn a couple of ways to build assets in themselves, an asset in themselves that never goes away? Excellent. I will talk about the mentorship in a little bit. That is $1,000, 8 weeks. Me and the coaches, we just hold you accountable. And then you have us for life. And it's the most impressive, amazing thing. Hands to the camera if you've been in the mentorship and it's really changed your life. Even if you've only been there for a week, you already see the potential. Awesome. Let's give these guys a round of applause. But that's not the announcement I wanted to make. I want to talk about speaking, how valuable being able to speak in front of a lot of people is going to move you forward. Who knows that sales is the most important business in the world? It's what pays the most. Who knows that stage speaking is the highest paying career in the entire world? Stage speaking pays more than sales, normal sales, because stage speaking is sales to many, one on many. Last weekend, I believe we closed $18,000 in mentorship thanks to Darina putting out one ad. Darina made one ad, I made one push, and everybody in here got a deal, right? Everybody who signed up last week, I think 26 people signed up, got a great deal. You deserve it because you were paying attention. That's from stage speaking. That's from teaching. That's from giving to a large amount of people instead of just one-on-one. We have an event that is taught by Doug McGurk. It's called You Rock Speaking Unleashed. Darina, can you put the chat in there? I know I didn't see Doug jump on the call today. I know he's busy this morning, but if you can put his chat in there, his group. This is a training that a lot of our coaches are taking. Our coaches are taking a speaking training so that they can go out and influence their 100 millionaires. Does that make sense? And also, if you want to double your income, get to the next level, learning how to orate intelligently, not just speak. Because what I do on here is engaging. We agree it's engaging and life-changing. You learn, there's perspective changes. I'm not a normal speaker. I'm a trained speaker. I did not just learn how to speak in front of people. I learned how to orate in a way where you're learning. It's called accelerated learning, where you get principles to write down. You get the hand to the camera. You get engaged. And I tell stories that are intentional to make the memories stay. So you have it. So you have an asset when you leave this. Does that make sense? Every week, who here's been here for more than 1 week? And who here agrees that every time you leave with energy, you leave with an excitement, you leave with a momentum, you leave with inspiration. That's what I learned to speak as. I'm not a normal teacher. I'm not a normal trainer. I'm above average because I built that, because I took a training like what Doug teaches. And Doug, he learned it from Tony Robbins, who is by far the highest paid person in the speaking arena. Previously Les Brown, now Tony Robbins. And Doug was with Tony for 3 years, one of his coaches, training with him, running with him, going on stages with him. So if you're going to learn stage speaking, learn from somebody who learned from the best. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's super affordable, very affordable program. Also, if you're in sales, you're a real estate agent or a wholesaler, or you're looking to close deals, negotiate, we've got a very powerful training from one of the best. And by the way, who knows what neuro-linguistic programming is? NLP. NLP is the art of sales. NLP is the art of saying words that get other people to convert, get other people to move forward with you and do what you're looking to have them do. NLP is the most powerful secret you can learn in sales. It's not just about them. It's about your frame. It's about you. It's about you changing who you are. So when you get into a closing, boom, everything closes. When you get into an appointment, you know, everything closes. Hands to the camera if you've been trained in NLP. You know what NLP is. Excellent. So if you haven't been trained, the opportunity is right around the corner. Terry is going to start doing a training. It is a training for sales. Accelerating your income is what we're calling it. It's every Thursday at 5 p.m. We're going to teach for free. Who likes things for free? Who likes trainings for free? Excellent. It is going to be a taste of what we're going to teach in January. So in January, we're going to do a full event. We're going to do a 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. training on sales with neurolinguistic programming, with NLP, with hypnosis. We'll sneak some of that in there, with how to get past procrastination, how to make sure, and we're focusing this sales training on doubling your income, accelerating your income. Is that okay? This is not your standard sales training. This is not, hey, let's increase sales 10% this year. No offense to those trainers who train that way. That's okay. But this is a different training. This is how to double your net worth. It's literally taught by Terry Wager from Generator Coaching, which is geared towards generating income. Remember, the point is not to work. It's to generate income. Does that make sense? It's on my book. It's literally what I put on the book because it's all that makes sense. The point is not to work. It's to generate income. So the big day, write this down on your calendars, is January 21st from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. We do not know what we're charging for it, but we will charge something. We will let the room decide when we do our trainings on Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's really 5 to 5:30. It's going to be a very short training, but we'll open it for questions. Does that make sense? So if you do have questions about the topic, you can ask questions there. Darina will have the links so that if you want access to this Thursday's training, which is a sales training, then be there. Darina will make sure it's posted. I'll make sure I'm posting on my Facebook. I'll make sure maybe I'll write a blog about why we're doing it, why it's so important to learn sales. Sales is not just, by the way, sales is not just converting other people to give you money. It's getting your kids to listen to go to bed. It's inspiring your children to be the best that they can be, inspiring your children to delay gratification. Successful people, the richest people on the planet, don't just go and grab the candy right away. They say, I'll wait a little bit longer to have the whole box of candy if I just do this one thing first. Does that make sense? So if you can raise your kids the right way, sell them on the concept of doing things the right way, then they will find and always seek out the right way in all things. How you do anything is how you do everything. Teach them on small things, they can do it on big things. That makes sense. Excellent. Let's see, what else do I got? New Bonfire store. So if you want the 100 Millionaires t-shirts, they are now available. Darina has finally gone, and because I've been meaning to do it for at least a year. I've been wearing them for myself, and the coaches have been wearing them. I gave them as a gift. But for you, if you are committed to building 100 millionaires, wear this t-shirt. I have gotten asked more times by people walking on the street, walking on the sidewalk, walking in the stores, what does that mean? What is 100 millionaire? What is that? Is that a rapper? Is that a TV show? Is that a podcast? Well, it is a podcast, but what it really is a mission. It's a commitment to helping 100 people become wealthy millionaires. And this does two things. One is scares away broke minds. Scares them away right away. Boom. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, you're a millionaire? Okay, I'm out. Scares away broke minds. It clears the room. And two, it attracts future millionaires. This shirt is so polarizing. So when I wear this shirt, I get young hustlers coming over and saying, man, what's that about? How do I jump on that? Or I get old, nearly dead people saying, oh, that's not something I'm a part of. That's something I couldn't ever do. And when I say old, I mean, I'm not talking age. I'm talking up here. Just they're over the hill. They're gone, right? They've given up. Some of the people in our mentorship are in their 50s, 60s, on their way to 70, but they're young. They're motivated. Their age doesn't change. They just stay motivated, stay excited, stay happy with life. Does that make sense? Awesome. If you're interested in the mentorship, send Darina a message or send me a message on Facebook, or just go to walterremo.com/mentor and register. You don't have to ask me. As soon as you register and pay, you are mine. I am yours. That is how it works. I am committed. Once you transact dollars, I believe in you. Does that make sense? If no dollars or no effort has been transacted, I have no reason to believe that you're serious about this yet. Does that make sense? There are some people who have committed to working a certain amount of hours to pay that off. Those people, I know. I see your commitment. I see your dedication. There are certain people who have committed by putting that $1,000 down. Oh, I get it. I see you're dedicated. I see your motivation. I'm in it. The only reason we put that money up there is to qualify. It's also, we use it to spread our mission. Notice there was 77 people in this room today. That's because I spend money on marketing, building assets that will bring more people in to build my mission, which is 100 millionaires in 2021. You don't have to build 100 millionaires next year. So don't sweat it. But if you join the mission, you've got to build 100 millionaires in your lifetime. Is that something you can agree with? If you live long enough, you can do it. Trust me, just by living in it, being a good example. Become a millionaire and be a good example. You'll build millionaires. People will ask you if you live long enough. If you live fast enough, like I like to live, because speed is everything in becoming wealthy. If you live fast enough, like I do, then you can build millionaires in a year, 100 millionaires in a year for sure. You know how I know it's possible? Tai Lopez did 200. Tai Lopez took out a mission to do 200 millionaires. I just found an article a little while back. He did 200 millionaires in a year. And so for me, I said, well, maybe I'm not Tai, but I'll do at least half, and then I'll double it the year after. Does that make sense? Excellent. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. You've committed to yourself this week. Do your net worth tracker and do it about energy. Add energy to it and write down one person who you could add to your life, who you could either pay for their coaching, pay for their mentorship, or add value to or spend time with to get access to their knowledge, access to their resources. What can you do for somebody out there who you could gain access to that is worth having access to? Does that make sense? Very clear mission. One person, and that doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to go after Grant Cardone tomorrow, but one person who is reachable, they're reachable for you. Maybe a stretch, but they're reachable for you that you could go after, that you could add value to. Make that commitment. Now, before we jump off, I do want to bring on some of our coaches and have them teach some lessons. Is it okay that I bring on some celebrity coaches to teach us what they have to talk about this on this topic? Awesome. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for being open to learning. For anybody who does have to jump off, I understand that time is valuable, and that is okay. This is recorded. It's on Facebook Live. Just jump to, I believe this is 68 minutes. Man, can you believe you've been here over an hour?
Yeah.
Crazy. You're having fun. That's why. Coaches, and let me start with Darina because I always forget to bring this beautiful woman on. I've been getting enough slack from the other coaches and from her at home. Darina, what was your big take from today's lesson?
Thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Well, the biggest takeaway from me was the lesson about the energy, that your body is an asset, and you have to take care. And recently, I've done Tony Robbins training. He was really focused on the energy, and he relates the energy is to the water that you are swimming in, and like how does your water feels? How do other people feel your energy? So that was cool. And what is the state of mind do you have? Is it a beautiful state of mind? And if it's not, you're it's not intelligent to be in any other state of mind. And every morning I ask myself a question: how do I show up for myself every day? And I think if you ask this question anytime you're about to speak to someone or come to someone's house or pick up a phone call, how do you show up? What is your energy? And then you can change it instantly. Do the physiology, jumping jacks, breathe, do the squats, anything in 90 seconds, and it will change instantly for you and for the other people around it. So treat your body with respect and feel it with a good expensive fuel, good energy, so it becomes contagious for the rest of who you interact with. So that's my big.
Very good. Give Darina a round of applause.
Thank
I
you.
see we've been missing out on this for the last few weeks. My fault, 100% my fault. But having Darina's input afterwards has been a blessing to me, and so I've been stealing that from you guys. So I apologize. Now you have access. Next, coach Terry Wager from Generator Coaching. What is your take?
One of the things that I think about with us as human capital, our network is our net worth idea is attraction rather than promotion. And you have a lot of people, and you see it in network marketing, especially newer people in network marketing. They're just going around trying to promote, and will you be my downline? Will you be my downline? Will you buy my stuff? Will you buy my stuff? And it just doesn't do anything. One of the things that I love about this program, about this community, is that we are really attracting people, inviting them along with us. And that's how we sell our programs. That's how we talk about and teach people, is to really invite people to be a part of our movement rather than just buy our stuff. Because really, you can get a lot of the content anywhere. But what you don't get is the inspiration. You don't get the motivation. You don't get this feeling of connection in other places. And I've been in a lot of groups, and it's just amazing.
It is true. You've been in a lot of groups, and you've been in the rooms. You know the difference. Give Terry Wager a round of applause. What Terry didn't tell you is he is consistent about doubling people's income. He's been doubling his own income. He's an investor in real estate. He actually uses Airbnb as a strategy out in Portland.
Washington is where it's at. We live in Portland.
So you live in Portland and you invest in Washington. See, this is why I confuse it often. So Terry is a phenomenal investor. He's a phenomenal coach. He invested in his mind. He's well over what I've spent in training. He's over $100,000. I've only spent $85,000 on coaches.
Yeah, 100. We'll go with that.
way over 100,000. And Terry's got the same approach that I have. Is when I find the right coach, I drop the money. No big deal. Boom. Excellent.
Chase after the coach.
What is it?
Chase after the coach. What do I got to do to learn from you?
100%. And sometimes I invest in their companies. Sometimes we invest in their businesses. Like Mike Shine has invested in ours. Sometimes we invest in other people's companies to get their business. Sometimes I affiliate with them to get access to them. You know, the coaches in here are people I've affiliated and sent money to make sure that I get access for a long time and given free training or whatnot. Speaking of amazing coaches, let's give Terry Wager a round of applause. Generator Coaching, double your income, double your net worth. Mike Shine, your biggest value lesson that you can give to our community today.
Well, it's kind of what Darina and Terry said. First of all, the energy is so awesome. This, without being mean to people, this group does not tolerate negativity. So I don't know how to really express that, but we don't say, hey, you can't be negative. Just people show up here and they know it's not a space to whine and complain about, you know. So that's an amazing thing, is just the energy is always positive. It gets me going. Like you said, after I get off a call, I'm all amped up. My thing is jumping rope. I jump rope in my living room. And then the other thing is just the community is so supportive and so friendly and so so genuine. I think genuine's my word about it, because everybody wants to help everybody else, and I think that's a testimony to you, Walter, because you're the leader of this crew. So maybe we can give Walter a round of applause. He never gets his round of applause. See how I snuck that in there?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. It's a compliment, and I appreciate each and every one of you because you are a testament that I have developed myself to a point where I can attract people just like me. In life, you attract people that are like you or the way you would like to be. You're attracted to people the way you would like to be, and you are attracted to people who are just like you. And so the fact that we are all here every single week means we have a lot in common. We have a similar goal. We have a similar drive. We have similar ethics, similar morals, and we're looking to do good in the world. And that's what draws us together. We want to do it as a team because we know we're more powerful as a team. And this energy that each one of you share, we feel it. You know, the coaches in here, like, we're inspired to come here and do this every single week. We don't get paid to do these free trainings. The free trainings are a passion project. It's something that we do because we know it's worth it. We know on the other end, we're building assets. We're building people who can go out and make a big play in the world. Each one of you building 100 millionaires. Do you know how unstoppable this is? It's just a big wave. Once we've taught you, it's a ripple effect. It expands, and then you are teaching other people and expanding it. And the website we're building allows you to have the tools, and the trainings that we're providing allow you the tools to build your millionaires faster. You don't have to work the way we had to work in the beginning, you know, figuring all this out, like, oh, we need that, and putting Band-Aids together. You'll have all the assets when you get started. Does that make sense? Is that cool? Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause. He is amazing. Every week he brings us a book. Every week he closes more deals. We call Mike the closer because he is the holistic attorney who thinks about everything in the deal, make sure the deal closes. He is also the king of partnerships. If you want to sit down with Mike in the mentorship, you've already learned. He knows partnerships. He understands how to connect the money. He knows how to make the deals happen. And he's just very emotionally stable. Like, Mike is, if you talk to Mike, you feel better afterwards. Who's had a conversation with Mike before in the mentorship? You've had your one-on-one with him, or you will have a one-on-one with him? Absolutely. Yeah. Very calm, very peaceful personality. Ryan McDermott. Oh, no, hold on. I'm sorry. Mitch Jorsky called after Mike Shine. Mike, you're up. Mitch, you're up.
I didn't see the pecking order.
I saw it in the chat. I noticed you said something about being after Mike, or Mike said being after you.
Beats me. Sounds good to me, though.
Works. You're up.
Anytime I can follow Mike, it's a win. Be like Mike. Mike.
It's all right, Ryan. I'm saving the best for last. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a body in motion stays in motion. So I think that holds true for the mind as well. And it's a big part of what, you know, being involved in this community does. It just keeps, like Mike kind of said, like, you know, no tolerance for negativity. And it's like, not in a mean way, but it's more, it's just focus on growth, focus on, you know, productive, focus on moving forward. And I think when you get caught up in that environment, you know, it's infectious. And I've said this 1,000 times. I mean, these Saturday morning calls literally set the tone for me for the weekend. Like, I get off this call amped up, ready to go, you know. So I think that power, so to speak, that energy that you're talking about, like you get it from the community. So it's something that I appreciate, and it's awesome that literally anyone can just jump on this call on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to technically be a part of anything. So like, who gives that value? You know what I mean? So you know, round of applause to the Alchemist community. And yeah, that's really it. You know, like I said, every Saturday I throw it out there. I'll drop the link in the chat. Free rental property calculator. If you guys need to run your numbers, there's one on my website. You can use it all you like to analyze your properties, because if you're not running numbers on deals, then what the heck are you doing? And I'll leave it at that. And I appreciate this call, like I said, every Saturday. And I actually need to run because I have to catch a flight. So y'all have a good one. And I will see most of you Monday night and look forward to it.
Mitch, what do you mean by a flight?
Doing a little
doing?
48-hour disconnect. Me and some buddies are going to go have some fun. And yeah, so you'll see me Monday night. Otherwise, I'm going to be offline.
Give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. His calculator is a huge asset. I'm actually working, Mitch, on getting a link on my website so they can go directly to your website, right to the calculator. So if you can actually shoot me that link, just shoot me the text over the link, and I'll add that to the website.
Yep.
Awesome. Again, give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause, making his calculator available to everybody. This is a tool that he used for himself for years, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to give it away for free. It's a value add. Everybody can have access to it. It also, Mitch teaches how to evaluate deals. Like that's his coaching program. He teaches how to evaluate deals. And so he has an asset now that does the deal evaluation once he's taught you. Does that make sense? So once you've evaluated the deal with him, understand the process, now you know how to use his calculator. Now he can move on to other projects.
And Galta, let me just last word is, you know, for people that aren't in the mentorship, get in the damn mentorship. And then you know, if at the end of the mentorship, you still need help, you know, specifically with deals, finding your first deal, finding your next deal, finding a bigger deal, that is specifically what I can help you with. But hopefully just being part of the mentorship, you know, you can get there as well. So, you know, the power of that group is awesome. But if you need, you know, individual help one-on-one, you know, I can be there for you. But I think it starts with the mentorship and then you go from there.
I absolutely agree. Mitch is phenomenal, and he's helped people close on things when they needed that extra evaluation. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I second that. One of the things about this community that I was talking about is that we're all here. Like somebody put in the chat that, you know, some people give you information and let you figure it out yourself. What I love about this community is that we're always here to help after the fact. We're not just going to abandon you. We're going to make you a millionaire, because that's our goal, is to make you a millionaire. So it's a win, 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 win.
In the end, we all look good because we did it. Does that make sense? Some of it is our ego, right? Some of it's our ego. Some of it's our need to give back. Some of it's just, it's brownie points. It's like points for us to say we did this. You know, we came here, we existed, we meant something.
I think that a lot of what we do that's really special is you mentor them, you bring people in, you get them excited about which direction to move. I help them build their business, get it moving in the right direction, get it working the right way. And then I pull Mitch in and I pull Doug in, I pull Mike in, you pull Mike in, everybody pulls Mike in because he's closing. But the reality is we're all working together as a piece of the machine to get you where you want to go. And that's the brilliance of what's going on with this group. And Ryan keeps their money safe, keeps their money working the way it's supposed to.
Protects the money, gets it growing, but not at an unreasonable rate.
And you know, none of us would be doing this, including you, Walter, without Dorina bringing the people and keeping everything working on track.
100%.
Let's give our team a round of applause. Phenomenal coaches, phenomenal people, phenomenal future millionaires. Each one of you who's committed to yourself and your success is amazing. I know I've got some questions on the call. I've got people who just want to make comments. This is your chance. And I see my buddy Chris Oh, I'm sorry, not Chris. Where'd you go? Patrick Sullivan on the call. I see Manny on the call. Good to see you, brother. Matt, awesome. Mike, good to see you. Angelica, Jennifer, Mario, Steve, Matt, Chris Hayward. Man, it's really good to see you guys every single week. It was really good to hang out with you, Patrick, this past 2 weekends ago. How is your new setup running for you over there?
I'm actually still putting it together,
Ah.
using most of it right now. Amazon
Patrick-
keeps plugging my house of a dozen boxes a day. I almost have all the pieces.
So Patrick is building a studio for himself so he can go out and influence the world the same way we're doing here. He wants to give back. He wants to be a coach and take it to the next level. He's owned multiple multi-million-dollar businesses, and he's the king of how to market to the affluent, right? That's what and by the way, I just named your program, Patrick. Sorry about that. I should have named it sooner and let you know about it, but you market to the affluent. You figured out how to dial in the niche and just go after the people who have the most wealth. Instead of trying to serve 1 billion people, you just go after the people who have $1 billion.
Yep.
Fair to say?
No, it's much easier to do bigger deals. Hopefully I'll buy my hotel in 2 weeks and I won't have to do anything else. Actually, 10 days. 10 days to go to the auction.
10 days. Give Patrick Sullivan a round of applause. Phenomenal investor, good friend, and just a good person. Very helpful with our website, which reminds me, a lot of free resources on the website. In fact, the Scaredy Cat calculator is now available on the website as of 30 seconds ago. I've updated it, and that's the benefit to me being able to update those programs. So go to gualtermarolo.com, go over to the resources tab. You'll notice 4 new resources. I have spent a lot of money hiring developers over the last 3 weeks to build these really, really cool resources. Do you want me to show you on the website? Do you want me to? I can show you manually right now. All right. So if you're at a computer, follow along and let's dive in. So you go to gualtermarolo.com. The link works. Here are, if you want to subscribe to get the blog every single week when I put it out there, you put your email address in here, hit subscribe. You can become one of the millionaires. You can join the mission by hitting here. This is where you join the mentorship. You can learn about where I came from. If you have any questions about whether I'm authentic or whether I've done what I say I've done, you can join the 52 Weeks to Wealth, which is where you're at right now. Hit that link. Bam. Every Saturday, you got access to it. Here's our wholesale mastermind, the cold calling mastermind. Every week, you hit here, Zoom link, Mondays at 5 Eastern Standard Time. Then there's the cash flow, buy real estate cash flow and get rich training. There are 2 new trainings we're adding that I haven't put on the website yet. This is your countdown to the next 52 Weeks to Wealth. Who thinks this is valuable, having a cool countdown down there? It just makes me smile when I see it. I get excited that the week is coming up. There is now free resources here. There is a store here, which Dorina created. Give Dorina a round of applause for creating the store with all of the sweet merchandise. Look at this. She's got the 100 Millionaire mask. So you can walk around and say, yeah, no, I'm committed to building 100 millionaires. And they say, really, are you a millionaire? And you say, it's coming. The money's on its way into the bank. It's on its way. Hang out with me and you'll find out too. That's how it works. We've got the hoodie to keep you warm. We've got the racerback to keep you cool. Men, I do condone buying the racerback. I have every intention of getting big enough and jacked enough where I can justify it. But until then, I am sticking to the V-necks. So the V-necks are here. You can get them in gray and white, I believe. The black is coming. Same with the long sleeve because it is cold where most of you are hanging out. So give Dorina a round of applause for making the store functional. It was a process that she figured out. And thanks to Mitch Durfee to showing us how to operate Bonfire. The blog now shows the latest posts. And yes, it's a mission to build 100 millionaires. Here are the latest posts to double your income, understanding your mind, how to evaluate real estate deals. So I'm actually putting my book, as I write the book, I'm putting it into the blog post. So as I write a chapter, sections of the chapter of the book that's coming out right now, which is all about finding deals, how to find them, where to go, I'm putting out in the blog. Is that valuable? Excellent. And I will continue to do it. And feel free to critique the blog because that will help me write the book. Does that make sense? Each one of you is a beta reader for me. Thank you, and I appreciate you and your help. As we continue through, there is also the podcast. This is where I interview the wealthiest people in the country. In fact, Nick Allerud, who knows Nick Allerud, runs AA Realty. So Nick was on the podcast. This is probably 2 months ago. The new episodes are coming out. I've already recorded up to episode 97. And in the next 20 episodes, it's all syndicators. These are guys who bought and buy real estate, massive parcels of real estate all across the country. We've got Max Keller, who wrote the book and how to actually get sellers to sell their houses, motivated sellers. He wrote a book for motivated sellers, teaching them why to sell to investors. Who thinks that'd be a powerful asset, having a book that tells sellers they should sell their house to you? He also allows you to author your own book with all of his stuff. You just write the beginning chapter and the last chapter, change your cover with your picture on it, and he sells that ability for you to author your own book with his asset. Really cool product. I met him at the Boston RIA, and I said, dude, I got to get you on the podcast. So the podcast is all about different millionaires that I've run into that I've been blessed to get them on the podcast, which is actually just me getting free coaching. And I get them on the podcast, get free coaching for me and for you. There are now the forums. I was asked to put multiple tabs in the forums. Previously, I just had rental property. Now I've got get the deal, which is wholesaling, get the money, which is raising capital, fix and flips, which is rehabbing, and be the bank, which is passive income. There are multiple forums in there. If I have not started a topic in the forum, please be the person to start the topic. Hands to the camera if you agree to go and start a topic today. And that's okay if you just throw something in there and get the conversation started. I will respond. Awesome. Give them a round of applause. The people committed to increasing my SEO on Facebook, on the world. The university has not changed. I have about 40 videos that are going to be added to the university, new training courses that we're adding to improve. I know we just keep adding to it. Anybody who already has access to the university is getting more free stuff, just more added in there. Yes. Then the mentorship is just a click to let you know how to buy the mentorship. So I don't have to dive into that. You should do it though. There is the 52 Wealth Principles. This is now an asset where you can jump into it, where you get access to all 52 Wealth Principles right here. You can buy the books with my affiliate links. I haven't filled them all out, but they're coming. You can go to the Foundational 5. The newest ones, though, are the Compound Interest Calculator, the Mortgage Calculator, and the Investor Personality Test. This is a personality test for real estate investors. I did basically copy the MBTI. So if you're familiar with Myers-Briggs, it's a Myers-Briggs test, but it's designed for real estate investors. I have a training that's going to come out that's all based on how, if this comes out this way, then you're this type of investor. Do you think that'd be valuable to know what your strengths are and what you should hire out as your weaknesses? Another asset is building what's already good. Build what you have a higher ROI on. It's not the people who are 100% better than other people who win the Olympics. It's the people who are 3% better, 1% better than the average person. Does that make sense? You just have to be a little bit better than the people that are average in order to be successful. And so with the personality test, once you identify your strengths, we focus on those and just make you better at those so you can be a better income earner in the things that you're best at. Doesn't that make more sense than trying to focus on your weaknesses? You don't get a good return on investment focusing on weaknesses. You get a good return on investment improving strengths, tightening down strengths. Your weaknesses you can soften by bringing other people in who have those as their strengths. Does that make sense? Excellent. And because we deal with DISC so often, I will be building a DISC personality test. So I will be able to have an investor-friendly DISC personality test. That is in the works. That's probably 3 to 4 weeks out because it does take some time to build these on the back end. But trust me, it will be worth it. DISC is more for one-on-one communication. MBTI is great for your investment strategy for long-term. DISC is how you communicate with other people to move them forward in sales. So you're in the seller's house or you're working with your team and you want to build your team's motivation up. Being able to understand DISC is very, very powerful. Does that make sense? Why they have to be 2 separate reports? Excellent. And then we have Mitch's real estate calculator. So you can click right here and it brings you to the Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing. The calculator is sitting right here. Type in the name and you get access. How cool is that? That was added about 30 seconds ago and a minute ago. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's been a powerful week. You've got an even more powerful week ahead of you. Go forward with positive energy. Say something nice to somebody you care about. Add value to them. Dorina, I see your hand up. What did I miss? Did I miss something?
Yes, so one more thing, another asset that we have now available for everybody is to become an affiliate. And next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to post it on Facebook as well. We're going to have a little training on how to become an affiliate, what does it take, and it really costs you nothing. But every time you become an ambassador of this mission, you have people join our groups, you receive a little check, and that check can be used for your Mojo dialer, whatever marketing you're doing, but building this massive movement with your help is going to really speed it up. And becoming an affiliate, again, it's the way to grow our community, and how to do it is going to be discussed on Wednesday, December 9th and 7 p.m. Again, we'll share the links everywhere so you can join and learn how you can do it, because it's a cool tool. It's a way for you to earn money by doing what you're really, really passionate about anyways. So just a little plug there. Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you, Roger, for your text. Give Dorina a round of applause. She really is an asset to this community, isn't she?
Oh, thank you.
Very valuable. And so are some of our other millionaires: Kim Harvey, Melissa, Patrick, Mike, Terry, Kim, Rodriguez. And if I'm missing you, I apologize. We got new members, Orton's in here, Olton. There are people who are already millionaires in this program who are looking to give back, looking to help other people. Is that okay that millionaires still come and still show up and still look to get to the next level? That's because we're not Deca millionaires yet. The Deca is coming. The Penta millionaire status is coming. We're working towards it. We're growing with you. I will not sell a coaching to get you to a Deca millionaire next year until I'm a Deca millionaire. Give me 2 years. I double my income every year, double my net worth every year. So 2 years from now, I'll be able to teach that class. But until then, is it reasonable to think that I can add value to enough people over the next 2 years just teaching how to make $1 million? I think so. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. If you have any questions for me or the coaches, at any point, message me on Facebook or message any one of our coaches at Facebook: Mike Shine, Terry Wager, got the list: Doug McGurk, Mitch Jorsky, Mitch Durfee, Dorina Pagodina, if you're looking to learn about the affiliate program, Dorina, and Ryan McDermott, if you're looking to learn more about your finances. Is Ryan on the call? He dropped off a little earlier, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think he's got soccer with his kids. All right, so go forth, have a wonderful weekend, be positive, be proactive. This is your life. Later, Matt, this is your life, your chance to be better every day, every minute. So go forward with an energy that is more intense than everybody around you. That doesn't mean bite their head off, just means hold your ground with positivity. If somebody's negative, outshine them, outsmile them, bring them around, show them a way that they can have a better day. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Always work with the best.
Later, guys.
Thank you.
Manny, good seeing you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your week. We got a good deal coming for you, Manny. It's coming. All right. Later, guys.
Peace.